Much later.
Well, everybody, I'm going to start this video out like this. In the car, coming back 2 hours from my house with a 3-inch hood exit exhaust for Snow Badger. Found it on Marketplace, and this is what it is. And I'm excited that I have it now. That's one less thing I got to worry about. I can just bolt it on and put the O2 into it, and we're done. So let's continue on with everything else. All right. Well, with the help of my wife,
I want to go fast. If you ain't first, you're last. You know what I'm talking about?
I got all of the gears lined up for the transmission. That's in there. Got the plate mounted. I think I got to do like a weld right here to hold that in, because like it moves and I can take that out, and I don't think it's supposed to be like that. But that's in. I ran through the factory hole there, comes through the hole right up there, and I just circle it right down and around, and now everything lines up perfectly down here. I'm gonna tighten these big nuts right there so I know it's secure. Got the cotter pin on the end there, got the gear selector in tight. So yeah, that's in there, and now we're gonna start working on some wiring. All right, so it's time to start wiring. I have this connected, which I'm gonna run all the way down through the car, and I'm gonna have that go to the starter, and then the starter is gonna come up to a distribution block that I have over here. Dog with his toys. That I will have this that I'm going to mount over here and have that get powered everything, because I'm going to run main power, starter. Starter's going to come off over to here, or whatever else I have to bring off the starter, because what I'm doing is I'm taking, this is the factory Fox body harness, I'm taking just the ignition switch out and all the ignition harness, because that's how I'm going to power all this from the key that's going to come through. So I'm going to go ahead and get this all situated where I just have the ignition harness out, and then I'll look through everything. And this is a diagram, and I'll go over what I'm talking about. Okay, so I got the mat sensor on there, my little bolt that I did, and so I kind of didn't, it bottomed out, so there's a little gap, but hopefully all the RTV around it will stop it. And then now that's gonna go right here on this back side, and then I'll just run the mat. But now this is a Gen 4 52 tooth, so, and the ECU's a 24, so now I gotta put this conversion in it. If you guys ever need it, that's what I bought. The conversion that goes off of the cam sensor there, and then also the crank sensor down on the other side there. So now I'm gonna hook all that up and then run that inside, so then I'll be able to hook up all this stuff to it and hopefully clean it up a little bit. So that's gonna be the next thing I'm gonna do. So let's go ahead and get to that, because I want to get this car started, and this is the last thing, is the wiring to get it done. Let's go. All right, so starting on the driver's side for the electronics, I'm actually gonna take all these and flip them underneath so everything's in the inside. But I got like the IAC, TPS, mat on there, coolant down there, all ran through the back. I'm gonna clean the injector harness up. But then on this side, I have that main harness running right here through. And then for this one, for the fuel pressure sensor, I had to undo it from over there and then brought it all the way back to this junction on the harness so then I can run it over to here to attach down there. And then I just have these up there, which is like the even bank, the crank sensor here, but that's going to go inside to the lantern filter. Same thing for the cam there, that's going to go inside. Oil pressure will go right back to there, that little sensor right there in between all those hoses. And then the even ignition will come through and get plugged here. But we're going to keep moving on with this. I'm going to clean up the injector harness. And then also I'm going to take more of my heat shield and I run it on these fuel lines coming across that go down to my pressure regulator down there. So then we don't have to worry about any heat when the exhaust comes up there. So let's go ahead and clean this up and make it look good. Also I have COLT, my pure black German Shepherd, and BUDA's as well. He is my dog that I got when I was stationed in Spain. He's a lab mix, but they're my helpers for today to get this situated. So let's start doing it. Sipping. And sipping. Oh, he's awake. Oh, he's awake. Okay, so I think I figured it out. So here is the ignition switch that actually goes on to the keyed switch inside. And this is what I've came down with what you need. So this is to the fuse. And then the yellow one goes to the starter. So what I think happens is this yellow one gives you power because what you're doing is running your power cable from the battery to a relay. And then this relay, or then this goes from the relay up to the switch. When you turn the switch, it adds power. So, with that being said, when it adds power into it, that power will come to this purple and white one. This purple and white one goes to your neutral switch. So what I'm going to do is I have this that I'm putting this to my switch. Well, I'm doing like a floor switch. So then this will go to my switch. And then the other side of this will go to my starter. The actual starter, not the starter relay. And this is what's going to start the car. So recap, you have your power coming in into the yellow. And then when you turn your key on, that sends power to this, which is your starter switch, will go into your starter or whatever switch you want, or go right to your starter and start it. Now these other ones, yeah, the red and green and this black and pink one, what these do, these give power as well. Like this is going to a 15 amp fuse, and then this is my ignition coil. So these will constantly always have power to them, because when you turn your car on and it comes back to the on position, that's what these green and red ones are going to be. So these green and red ones will just give power to everything. This gives power to the switch, and then that gives the initial full turn to your starter. And then these gray and yellow ones are just for, like I think it's the heat gas temperature. And then this one over here, this little blue one, is just power to the lights on your dash. So realistically, all you need is power to the switch. This gives power to the solenoid. And then this is what I'm going to do to give power to the Holley Terminator ECU. So just to recap real quick. Yellow, power to switch. when you turn it on, it sends power over to the actual keyed to the starter. And then this will be power on all the time. And this is what I'm going to connect to the ECU to connect it. Then I won't have to worry about the gray and white or this blue and black. I hope that helped, guys. I'm going to start wiring this week and getting it done, so I'll know for sure what exactly I'm going to need from this. But that's it. Go ahead and subscribe down below if you find it helpful for using the stock ignition switch to run your Holley and a Fox body. All right. These dogs are getting restless. So, peace.